Hey, welcome back to the Ping Pong Flix Show. My name is Chris Wong. There's a few entertainment news updates for you today. Some including some cool releases that's coming out on Netflix. Here's a little Marvel in there. And also a little bit of Justice League, right? Zack Snyder. There's actually comments pulled from Sean O'Connell's Release the Snyder Cut book, and it's about Zack Snyder talking to Warner Brothers about releasing the Snyder Cut back then. It's interesting stuff. So let's check it out. Okay, so the first topic of the day is there's some cool Netflix content coming soon. I don't know if you've noticed, I've been doing some genre, etc. videos in terms of Netflix because there's some awesome things that are about to be dropped this year. The first one, of course, this actually came from Chennai Times, an article that came out where they talked about Huma S. Kurasi, and it was about Army of the Dead, because she's starring in Army of the Dead, right? She stars as a character named Geeta, and I think she may have revealed to them, or I don't know how they found out, but that Army of the Dead is scheduled to be released in May. Scheduled to be released in May of this year. Indeed, this is a Zack Snyder year, and we're going to have a lot of Zack Snyder content starting off with Zack Snyder's Justice League on March 18th, and then we're going to get, a few months later, Army of the Dead. How incredible and crazy is that? That's so cool. And also, he's going to start filming his next film, I believe, in May as well, and that is Horse Latitudes, right? That was like the retitled from the last photograph. So maybe I'll talk a little bit about that later on. Another Netflix thing that's dropping is Pacific Rim, The Black, a Netflix anime series. I dropped a genre, etc. video today talking all about the synopsis, possibly the story of this, but this is coming out in March. So this is getting a March release date as well. It's an episodic anime series based around probably, I think, and I'm thinking it's going to be after the Pacific Rim 1 and Uprising, and it follows two siblings. So that's something that's cool that's coming out as well. And the 13-episode anime series of Godzilla, Singular Point. It's a new Godzilla anime series that's coming out. 13 episodes. It has Jet Jaguar and a bunch of other characters in there, other monsters as well, including Godzilla, of course. But I think Anguirus is in there. All the monsters are in this one. If you're a Godzilla fan, kaiju fan, like, this year is for you. Like, if this is my year. I'm sorry. Justice League, right? I mean, kaiju, tokusatsu. We've got Shin Ultraman, a Godzilla anime series, Godzilla versus Kong, Zack Snyder content. It's going to be an incredible 2021 in terms of this, in terms of entertainment. So that's awesome stuff that's coming out. For all the Marvel people out there, there is a new first look. This was trending today in regards to Thor, Love and Thunder, the next Taika Waititi feature film that is based in the Thor world. Now, as you know, Taika Waititi did Thor Ragnarok, and he is off to do the next movie, which is Thor, Love and Thunder. So there's some new pictures here that were going around and pretty much trending today in terms of that. You do see Thor. He's finally back with the long hair once again. As you've known since last time, he is muscular and built once again. He's no longer Fat Boar. He's Thor how he should be. And that's kind of cool. There's Nebula, I think, in somewhere in these scenes as well. But the one thing that the pictures are really going around were these. New Thor photos of Thor Odinson and Star-Lord of Thor Love and Thunder. That is Thor himself with a spitting red jacket. And I think that's Stormbringer there. And that's, Star-Lord, Chris Pratt right there, looking a little different with some of that armor decor there. But basically, it's starting to, it's looking more and more like going to beyond Thor Ragnarok here, right? If you thought Thor Ragnarok was really different from the rest of the MCU in terms of the style, in terms of the music and everything, it was really going for that Flash Gordon ice pirates, Buckaroo Banzai type of retro looking kind of thing, a space adventure. This is going to be probably 2 times that much. If you didn't like Thor Ragnarok, you're probably gonna hate this double. But I'm going to say that Thor Ragnarok did indeed try to be different from the rest of the MCU being that. And being that, Thor left with the rest of the Guardians of the Galaxy, and I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know if they're going to really search for Gamora or whatever, or whatnot. It's a new adventure, and it's Taika Waititi's adventure. He's being able to not think about having this to, connect with Endgame or Infinity War, so he's definitely going to take this out to the beyonds of space, I would think, and probably going to do his own thing, his own little retro space adventure. And that, I think that's what this is going to be. So expect a lot of color, expect very bright, very retro colors, neon lights. The music's probably going to have a lot of synthesizers and things like that. And of course, the comedy is going to be, a lot more. So Thor, Love and Thunder, that I don't know when that's coming out, but that's what it's looking like right now. All right, now let's get back into some DC here. There is a new black suit Superman design from Zack Snyder's Justice League. This is coming from the DC Comics shop. This is the newest shirt here. Of course, another $25 later. Looking closely at the shirt, it is black suit Superman. And, honestly, you can really tell. I mean, I was thinking, did they just get the colored one and just turn to black and white? But then the symbol does show a little bit, although I thought the cape was a little bit more charcoal this time around. Of course, it's just a shirt, so, well. But Superman, Justice League, JL, Zack Snyder's Justice League, rather, and that is the black Superman. So the first in many probably hero shirts. Like I said, I actually called that. Like, it's gonna be dark. It's gonna be Darkseid. Next was Steppenwolf, and I'm like, I don't know if it's gonna be Desaad. Do you think he'll have a shirt? But Black Suit Superman was the other one. Now, it's okay. It's okay. I think the Darkseid one was awesome. Steppenwolf was awesome, and Superman. I'm just like, it's only one shirt. Like, there is no other shirts here. It's just Superman, like just one shirt of Superman. The other characters had like 2 types of designs here, and Superman only gets one. So I'm kind of like, I'm gonna need something else. I wish there was a better design for this. I mean, this literally, I think this is something that my kids could definitely wear. They wouldn't mind wearing this type of shirt, as opposed to, and my kids just screamed. That was weird, but I think they wouldn't mind wearing this kind of shirt. But for me, I want something a little bit more better. I mean, I've seen a lot of great fan art out there, from lots of different people. Like, hit up Victor Koo, Mighty Pegasus, man. He'd probably drop a really awesome design for your shirt that would have been maybe more worth that $25. But if you really want the black suit Superman, it's available for you. Definitely the other shirts are also available for you as well. I'm almost getting those international shirts so I can mail them out, and I can't wait to mail them out. It seems like it takes especially longer to get to Hawaii for some reason, so I apologize for that for my 2 international fans I'm supposed to send to. So but yeah, hopefully that will go out real soon. So that is the black suit Superman. All right, well, now there's something interesting. Sean O'Connell's book, Release the Snyder Cut, is supposed to be going out, I don't know when, but there is some excerpts and reviews were posted and things like that. I haven't read too much of the reviews. I haven't read the book either, but this one came from the Direct, and it's kind of an interesting article that I'm going to show to you right now. You're like, why the heck is Big Bird there? Justice League HBO Max was concerned about Snyder Cut outcry on Sesame Street tweet. What? So it has been a long journey for fans of the Snyder Cut movement for Zack Snyder's Justice League, officially announced in May 2020 by Zack Snyder. And you know how Tony Goncalves, head of HBO Max, said in June that decision makers need to listen when consumers are speaking. Sarah Albright said Zack Snyder's Justice League already a success given the press they've had around it. But there's some extras from Sean O'Connell's book, Release the Snyder Cut, the crazy true story behind the fight that saved Zack Snyder's Justice League, have been released, documenting the story behind the push for Zack Snyder's Justice League. In particular, one section notes Warner Brothers' reaction to fans who would push for the Snyder Cut on unrelated social media posts. Okay, now just want to really point out, don't get triggered by this at all. Don't attack them. It's just it's just something that happened during the time, but everybody was just trying to generate a lot of noise. And you know what? It kind of worked. When discussing the Snyder Cut movement's social media presence, Zack Snyder himself couldn't help but laugh as the fans would appear on anything that Warner Brothers, Warner Media, or HBO Max posted online, right? One specific example that Snyder recalls is when HBO Max tweeted a promotion for Sesame Street, to which the campaign descended upon without mercy. Their websites, their Twitter, their everything, they were paralyzed. They were literally paralyzed, he said. They could make no release. They could talk about nothing. I was talking to an unnamed executive who said that HBO Max would tweet something about Sesame Street, and people would be like, F Elmo, release a Snyder Cut. That was the world they lived in. And we're like, Jesus Christ, what are we supposed to do? We can't function. That's pretty rad. Now that's the type of pressure that we were doing back then, right? I threw in some. I don't mind saying that, but that's definitely that was ultimately did add to the pressure to Warner Brothers to do something about it. Zack Snyder also commented about the presence of the Snyder Cut movement at Comic-Con in 2019. It says, it was during, I think, 2019's Comic-Con where there was an article written that said the biggest Warner Brothers and DC presence at Comic-Con this year is for a movie they'd never released, which I was like, holy SHID, that's amazing. When Snyder spoke to Warner Brothers about the possibility of releasing a completed version of his Justice League, he used this campaign as a major justification. We did all these analytics, and when we went in to talk to Warner Brothers about possibly releasing the movie, I said to them in the boardroom, you realize, I don't know if you're aware of it, but the most volume for any social media campaign for any movie Warner Brothers has ever done is for a movie that you guys never released. The most tweets, the most social media noise in the history of Warner Brothers is for a film that you guys don't have out. At the time, Warner Bros. Wouldn't budge or move forward with the project despite these persistent pocket of fans online, and at that stage in time had no intention of releasing. In what world is that okay? In what world does the business model support this point of view? It just seems insane. And apparently that didn't fall on deaf ears. Of course it didn't. Because guess who listened? AT&T. Snyder went on to argue against Warner Brothers' point of these just being a vocal minority of fans, saying that if that's the case, why Warner Brothers couldn't garner an equally loud demographic for any of their other films. But it's just a hard thing to argue with. They would say things like, well, it's just a vocal minority. It's just a small amount of people. I'm like, okay, fair enough. If that's what you want to say, but that's true, and it's not that big of a deal, how come you guys, Toby Emmerich, a giant media corporation, Toby Emmerich, cannot generate the same number of social media impressions as this vocal grassroots minority that aren't that big of a deal? How come you wish, in your best case scenario, you could volumize one of your products in the same way that this handful of people, so you say, can do it. And if it is just a handful of people, you should have them working for you because they are unbelievable at their jobs, at their hobby, actually, because none of them are getting paid for it. Boom! Die, sucker! That is slam dunk. Seriously, slam dunk. That probably turned a lot of heads in that boardroom, and AT&T just went straight to look at Toby Emmerich. And he's got a point. He's got a point, man. Why is everybody tweeting Snyder Cut when they should be tweeting Birds of Prey? Why? Why, Toby? Toby, where you at? Toby, where did Toby go? He went to the bathroom now? He went to the bathroom now to take a shit? Is that where we at? Come on, man. It's just business sense. You know, to be honest, it just really is business sense. This is when ego gets in the way, right? And that's why AT&T had to come in. They had to have that third party, that bigger corporation that comes in and realize that there is money to be made here, and realize that there is an actual consumer product that consumers actually want, and that they can make money off of it just by putting money into it, just by investing into it. That's it. That's all you got to do. But, you know, certain people's ego in the way, and still continues to have ego in the way, and will try anything because their pride is so hurt, because that's all they have. Their pride. They're so hurt, you know? Well, screw that, man. You work for a company. You work for a company that is about making money. What company is not about making money? What company, right? What company? What company's not making? What giant corporation says no to stocks? Says no to money, right? Right? It's not a charity, right? It's a corporate. It's a money printing corporation, right? So why would you say no to money? Why would you say no to opportunity, right? And if you are working against your bosses, which is AT&T, who is invested into the Snyder Cut, then you should be fucking fired. I'm sorry, I'm not supposed to swear, but I'm pretty sure my nieces aren't going to be watching this. I'm going to tell them not to. You should be fucking fired, because you are now working against your own company. You're working against your bosses. And if you're going to be the snitch, the little freaking mole in the company that's working against your own company, then you should absolutely 100% be fucking fired. That's all I got to say about that. All right. This is a really cool thing that is going to happen, and I'm very excited to be a part of it. Definitely check this out. Justice Con panel hosts. Justice Con is the new Justice Con. Dave the Film Junkie. Shiraz Faruqi. Hey, who's that guy? Who's that guy? Scott McClellan. What else is there? Tim Yoko. Wonder Meg. And Enosh. Not a Queen. And Co-Queen. There it is. That is Justice Con. Oops. And there you have it. Those are the Justice Con panel hosts for Justice Con 2021. So I'd like to thank the Nerd Queens for inviting me to be a panel host. I'm truly grateful and truly honored, and very much surprised. But Thank you so much. This is awesome. I am so stoked for the new Justice Con. This is our virtual Snyder Con, if you will. So I can't wait to see what's going to happen for that. I don't even know when it is going to be, but it's exciting. It's really, truly exciting. All right, let's get into the Ping Pong Flix members' comments and questions right now. The first comment is from George. Nice speech, Chris. Well, thank you. Yes, we can make Zack Snyder's Justice League a success, and yes, I think Toby is being a dick by doubling down. I can't believe Warner Brothers are happy to lose a lot of money. It just does not make sense to me. Anyways, keep up the good fight, Chris. You really are the true beacon of hope and justice, just like you. One true icon, Superman. Oh wow, that's just too much. but thank you, George, for your awesome comment. Thank you, I appreciate it. Belle Reeve Mendez. If it comes out in theaters, I will dehydrate myself, so I don't have to use the restroom during Zack Snyder's Justice League. Belle Reeve, I do the exact same thing. Like if any movie. Actually, at my age, I know I'm not, any movie, I just don't take any soda anymore. Like, honestly, like if I have to drink soda, like I eat a lot of popcorn to absorb that. And I find that for me anyway, if I eat a lot of popcorn and when I drink soda, it kind of absorbs and, I don't have to use the bathroom. I know, weird. Okay, but definitely, yeah. Empty your bowels. Mr. J310. Toby can try and screw over Zack, but Zack Snyder's Justice League is already a success. And when it's released and breaks streaming records, it will be another pie in his face. Boom! That guy needs to pack his ego and go. Cosney. I have a problem, Chris. Here in Greece, nothing for the Snyder Cut. There was in Google Play, but they removed it. I hope they do something for it after the trailer. Yeah, I really do hope they are expanding, as you can see. Like some people from Canada were like, oh, I can't watch it. Well, I don't know if anybody knew, but Crave, do I have that still here? Crave at Canada said that in Canada, Zack Snyder's Justice League will premiere on Thursday, March 18th, only on Crave. So if you want to watch Zack Snyder's Justice League, and you don't have HBO Max, you're not, you're in Canada, Crave would be an option for you. Although I heard that it's not that good of a service, I don't know. I have no idea if that's true or not. But I'm thinking hopefully that expands more, and maybe this is Warner Brothers really trying to F with it. I think that maybe this is it. This is how they try to F with it. They're trying to keep it from expanding outward. Mario L. Bendicion. Hi, Chris. What do you think? Destroyed Martian Manhunter homeland that made him escape from Mars to Earth. Did Krypton communicate with the Martians before they land on Earth? The ship Clark found has an open pod. What if he meets him or her? Maybe that's the reason why he knows in Man of Steel, Superman is hope for this world, but humans just not ready yet. We understand so little of him, and he seems to know about Darkseid. What is your thoughts on past life of Martian Manhunter? I'm not sure. Like within the Snyderverse, I want to just think that maybe, just maybe, in this Snyderverse, it's Darkseid. Darkseid is the one, the apocalypse, they destroyed his world and he escaped his world, right? I mean, you want to go through the white Martians and stuff like that, but what if in this version of Martian Manhunter, it's really Darkseid's fault, and that's why he knows there's a war coming, right? Cooper Moser, Darkseid destroyed Martian Manhunter plants and species? Yeah, I feel like that may be the case for this. John Aaron Garza, Martian Manhunter has replaced the Green Lantern showing up at Bruce Lake House. What? To tell him there's a war coming. Exclusive! But yes, that's what happened. We won't see a modern GL. Whoa! John Aaron Garza has it exclusive right here. All right. That's awesome. I don't have an exclusive drop, but definitely exclusive. Indeed. Wow. Thanks, Garza. So, no Green Lantern. He's saying that Martian Manhunter replaced Green Lantern showing up at Bruce Lake House to tell him there's a war coming. Whoa. So that's what's going to happen. That's crazy. I mean, that still spells sequel. So I think that's a really cool, part of the ending, if you will. So, whoa. I can't wait to see this. Roger Benavides, we are with you, bro. Thank you so much. Definitely, we need all of you. Ampero, congrats for being one of the hosts on JusticeCon. Well, thank you. Oh, I guess you saw that and commented pretty quickly on that. Geek Haven Jan 86. Hey, Chris, unrelated, but some fun facts about the Cloververse you might not be aware of. From my understanding, 10 Cloverfield Lane was originally its own film, not connected to Cloverfield at all, and was called The Cellar. It's true, which was retroactively made into Cloverfield chapter. Same thing happened, obviously, with the Cloverfield paradox, whereas in the movie was all originally unconnected and was called God Particle. Also true. The films Overlord and Quiet Place were also supposed to be further chapters in the Cloverfield anthology series, but due to the failure of Paradox, they remained their own films. If you remember a certain line of dialogue from Paradox mentioning a warning of certain side effects of using the particle accelerator would create portals in time, opening doorways to beasts from the sea, aliens, demons, etc. I'm very happy that a true sequel to the original film is being made and hoping some or all the elements of the expanded lore are being included. Yeah, I agree. That's all true. Although, Overlord and Quiet Place, that could also be true as well. I could certainly see that, definitely. It was kind of like an excuse to make anthologies and putting Cloverfield's name on it, like for things that they don't think would succeed, they slap Cloverfield on it to make it successful. And I don't think that's the right way to go. I think you should definitely have a plan and not just, not just convince that directors and say, hey, let's put Cloverfield on top of it. And it's like, yeah, but it had nothing to do with Cloverfield. I want it to be called this. I want it to be called that, and it gives you certain expectations and certain audiences that want to see something about Cloverfield. So, yeah, I think this way is better. If you actually want to make a Cloverfield sequel, make a Cloverfield sequel. Don't turn something that wasn't originally Cloverfield into trying to make it Cloverfield. I think that's probably the wrong way to do it. Yeah, I still enjoyed all of them. I really did. It each had something that was, in its own right, a good movie. In a way. All right. As we are at war, here are some relevant insights from Sun Tzu's The Art of War. He will triumph who knows when to fight and when not to fight, something the gatekeeper should learn. Know who your actual enemies are, no more and no less. Know your enemy, know yourself, and you will always know victory. If you know yourself but not your enemy, for every victory there will come a defeat. If you do not know your enemy nor yourself, you will be imperiled in every battle. Or our strugglers for 3 years. Be extremely subtle, even to the point of formlessness. Be extremely mysterious, even to the point of soundlessness. Thereby, you can be the director of the opponent's fate. Do things the enemy wouldn't think would be a threat. Our fundraising events like Project Comic-Con, November 2019 trend event, and it may be asked, when a large, well-organized opponent is about to come to you, how do you deal with it? The answer is that you first take away what they like, and then they will listen to you. HBO Max and its viewership numbers take power from Emmerich in proclaiming success and failure in movies, so we make Zack Snyder's Justice League a super hit, and Kyler prevails over Emmerich. That's kind of cool. We were already putting in Sun Tzu's The Art of War into our strategy for 3 years now. That's kind of cool, if you look at it that way. If you choose to look at it that way. I can't help thinking John Jones' line might be said in Cal Swanwick mode, as it's a good line spoken as a Secretary of Defense, perhaps in the context of the subplot involving the military, but I'd say the connections issue implies he's just not just talking to Clark, considering how he's interacted with Lois more frequently throughout BVS and, of course, in JL as in albeit in pseudo Martha mode. Yeah, it's cool, but, Garza just kind of spilt it already. We gone turn Warner Brothers into Snyder Bros. Is there any chance it is Martian Manhunter's disguised as Cyborg in that flight scene? Someone said that, like, oh, is that him hinting that that's not that's actually Martian Manhunter? I don't know. I remember in the scene that it comes down. Does Martian Manhunter, like, if he changes to something, does he actually physically can do things that character can do? Or what? I don't know. I genuinely laughed out loud when he started shaking that remote control. Toby Emmerich absolutely does not want this to succeed, but he is going to fail at every turn. This will absolutely be a success. Even the people who are against it, for whatever odd reason they have, will be turning in. They're going to look foolish, but they're used to that, I suppose. Looking forward to a Zack Snyder's Justice League Marathon. Plenty to talk about, I'm sure. Yes, definitely. McTeague co-directed Cloud Atlas with the Wachowskis, and the way the crew member who revealed the title talked about Lana Wachowski and McTeague, it would be odd to single out McTeague as if he was just a producer on Matrix Resurrections. Well, not really. I mean, a lot of producers, if they're not an executive producer, a lot of producers could also be hands-on type of producers, right? They actually do a lot more in getting involved into the actual creative of it as well. So that might be the case here. And Toby fired Johnny Depp. And that the Snyder Cut and Ray Fisher, the man is garbage. Zack gave it his all for us. After everything that's happened, now it's time to return the favor. They never fought us, not us, united. That's some fighting words right there. Chris is drumming the war drum. It's on, guys. It's on. I don't have to beat that drum for you. I think you're all beating that drum at home for every one of us. Ready to join you in the trenches, Chris. Ready to join you. Ready to join us. Right? We're all in this together. All united now. Zack Snyder's Justice League shall be successful. We are the storm that is approaching for Dark Side, for Zack Snyder, for Deborah Snyder, for Autumn Snyder. Definitely. Great, fantastic words there, Jonathan Mueller. Kiran Prasad. Zack should go on tour with the Snyder Cut. Maybe with the black and white version, cast members can surprise us in the journey too. Yeah, if he definitely could do that, that would be pretty awesome. And I think he was planning to do that. That's why I was asking people who has IMAX screens. Unfortunately, yeah, I'm still closed here. But hey, maybe one day. Kinky Sphinster, release the Snyder Cut. Thank you. That is awesome, guys. Well, thank you so much for your members' comments and questions. Thank you so much for watching. Like I said, if you absolutely love this daily dose of entertainment news and content, please click the like button, hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell, keep this hot dog light on, and I'll see you next time.